We are going into onto citinewsroom.com to check out what the news is saying. And the very first story here I have here says vehicles of houses vandalized in communal clash at Echima Agogo, Echima Chedie. Also on to some trending stories. Nursing trainees demand payment of allowances. And Lawrence Tetes says to Cleggy that the 2024 polls, he says, serve Ghana, stop serving political masters. This is an advice he's given to the Cleggy. And then Chris Hilting explains Thomas Partey's exclusion from Ghana's AFCON squad. I don't know how that is going to affect the team because if you ask me,
but he's not been fit for a while.
Yeah.
He's not been fit for a while. He's been injured. So, I mean, for me, it's like you need to go to the AFCON with your best possible squad, right?
That's true.
And the fact that he's a talismanic player. He's one of those players that even his presence is inspirational, right? But are you going to risk taking someone who you know will not be fit to play?
I get it.
Rather than getting a fit player who is on top of his game.
That's right.
You know, and so it's not an easy decision to make. But for me, I think it's just straightforward. He
needs medical attention, but I just hope that his exemption from the AFCON won't affect the team so much in their performance, because he plays a key role, if you ask me.
Well, if it's a team worth its salt, then we'll do well.
All right, we'll be hoping for that. Moving on to some other stories. Life jackets deployed to artisanal fishermen in coastal areas.
Yeah, that's, you know, we need to, just a quick comment on this, right? We need to begin to insist and make it mandatory. Just the way we've been able to do with things like driver's license and all those kinds of things. It's like you can't drive without wearing your seatbelt, all those kinds of things. We need to insist that you cannot operate a boat without a life jacket.
This thing, I feel like it's an attitudinal thing.
Yes, that's why somebody has to insist.
It's an attitudinal thing, because in as much as they do not have the jackets, how are we going to make sure that every fisherman is wearing the jacket? Because they're so used to going to sea without it.
Good. So I'm saying that there has to be one way or another that we, so for example, let me just give you an example on this. If you look at the fisher folk, right, and the fishing community in general, they do this day, night, whatever time without jackets.
Right.
So we're not even talking about them in particular, right? We're talking about those who have to cross bodies of water to go to the market, to go to school, you know, to transact business. They have to cross. It's not the way they live their lives normal, as in, for example, they are not fisher folk.
Yes.
Right? But they have to cross. We have to insist and figure out a way of making it mandatory across all areas that people cross water bodies, right? So that the boat owners are the ones that are held accountable.
Should anything
happen. You see,
happen.
exactly. So if you start jailing boat owners,
just like the way drivers are being held accountable.
No, but that's what it is.
Accidents happen.
Exactly.
I get you.
Exactly.
I get you.
Yeah.
I hope.
You see, we can't just, I don't know how to describe. We can't just throw our hands in the air and pretend as if, or behave as if, oh, there's nothing we can do about it. It's like the people are like this is how they are. When we advise them, they don't listen.
They don't listen,
What do you when you advise them, they don't listen? Insist on it. Start arresting people. Start jailing people. They will behave themselves.
That's true.
It's as simple as that. True. You know? Yeah. Anyway, we have more headlines.
Yes. Would you take that?
Apologize for Ghana's current sordid state. John Kwache to MPP and NDC. You will receive international recognition. Kwache Ankara to Ifwa Asantewa. Don't allow politicians to use Machiavellian tactics to divide us. This is coming from the GBA president to Ghanaians. Elections, not atmosphere of wars. 2024 polls must be clean. Lawrence Tete to MPP and NDC. There's a few more there.
All right, so still on some sports stories, it says Chris Hughton names 27-man squad for tournaments. That's about the 2023 AFCON coming up. And then be measured in your dealings with court users, JUSAG to members. And some sing-a-thon story says, I have been hospitalized after Guinness World Record attempt. That's from Ifua Asantoa. Provide proof of alleged WASI results cheating. IFS to Mahama. 2024 will be a good and peaceful year. Akufu Ado. And on the last one, 2024 polls, name female as Mahama's running mate again. Bawa Motari, all right, Bawa Motari to NDC. So you can go onto the citinewsroom.com to get details of these stories and others that are there later today.
You know,
which
I have a challenge with a comment like, provide proof of WASI cheating. Why should any individual who is not involved with the examination cycle provide any proof? Does it mean that if you don't hold the proof in your hands, you don't know that cheating is going on? Because the news cycle already has stories. Don't we have, how many people whose results were withheld?
Yes,
a lot of people's results were withheld. For what? There was the whole story about AI, people taking phones into the exam room. So if he's commenting on cheating in WASI, he is saying he should provide evidence. It's like, I first went to sleep when the news stories came out.
It's like saying that without evidence, we won't look into what you are saying.
Meanwhile, we have investigative bodies. Do you understand? Yes. So we should rather call on the investigative bodies to look into allegations made by somebody like John Dramani Mahama, right? Okay, but for me, we don't even need to go that far because the news cycle already has the stories, right? The stories are already there. And they are already being investigated. Yes. Do you understand? So, IFS position is funny to me.
Yes. And how is John Mahama the one supposed to be?
Why is he supposed to be? Because he commented on it?
Exactly.
It's like if we sit here and we say that the city was now, we have to provide evidence. Exactly. Are you serious?
Exactly.
I mean, seriously.
They have to do better. I mean, they have to actually, like they always do when there's an issue, create an investigative body and then look into the matter, because this 2023's WASI results, a lot of people were talking about it. But you see, the cheating has
been happening. Yes, but even last year there was more. The previous year there was some. Do you understand it? It's something that's been ongoing. Yeah. Right? My thing is, first of all, let's take our heads out of the sand as ostriches behave and face the reality that there's a lot of cheating that's going on, and people have done now and cheated their way to getting degrees from the university. It is happening. Do you understand?
You may provide. You may
listen,
want to provide
they say we have to come and provide proof. Look, do you know that there are people who have been sacked from the university for exam malpractices?
That's very true.
Where do you think those malpractices started from?
Senior high schools.
Of course. This is something they've been doing. And it finally caught up with them. You see, so my point is, let's just stop the pretense. I really find it disgusting when people pretend like the problem is not there. And they're saying, where's your proof?
Where's your proof?
Show us the evidence.
Show evidence.
I'm all
show
for
receipts.
No, you see, I also don't believe in just random allegations and accusations. I also don't believe in that. Do you understand? But when we see it, I remember a few years ago, I forget how many years exactly, but I was in church one day, and then my pastor was talking about Apo and how that Apo leaks all the time, and then he asked the church congregation, right, to raise their hands and say, if they ever saw Apo before their exam, and almost the entire church raised their hands.
Wow.
When the thing made it into the news, people were blasting him and accusing him.
Oh.
And, do you understand? And they said the same thing. Show us proof.
Yeah. And these people are not any. I mean,
in the court, in the court of law, there's something called a witness. Somebody who said, "I saw some."
Yeah.
That's your proof. So this type of behavior that we have is like, show us evidence. There's proof. People are witnesses. Some of you who are watching us, you have seen Apo before.
We all have, Kweku. We all have.
Did you see Apo before?
Oh yes.
Yeah.
I won't sit here and deny it.
Listen.
Haven't you seen an Apo before?
Okay. Let me tell you. The school that I went to was not in Ghana.
Okay.
The school that I went to, the exams were so rigid, it was crazy.
You've schooled in Ghana before, right?
Primary school, and then Legon.
During that
and then
time.
university.
During that time.
Yes.
Didn't you ever see Apo?
In university, no.
Oh.
Yes, in university, no.
This is interesting.
No, but this is. I finished university 2001.
Okay.
So maybe at university, but in our time, people were actually sacked from Citi.
For examination or practice.
See, back in the day, I don't know. I'm sure there would have been Apo around. It's not a badge of honor to say I didn't see Apo. I don't. Okay. It just didn't come my way.
Yeah.
Right. But in my secondary school, that's when I learned to value. Fight for your own paper on your own merit. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Recently, I discovered that there's a university in Ghana that they teach them something called the honor code.
No.
Right? And you go into it, your whole year, the time you are in school, you are taught to do an exam and have the mind of valuing the validity of your own results. Right? That's the Accession University. I'm not even going to mince words about it. It's the Accession University, right? So people, nobody, it's like they teach you. By the time you get to final year, doing exams, even cheating is disgusting to you. Like the thought that I will, do kululu to get into the system. It's an abhorrent thought, right? And that's what we need to work on as a society. So that we are proud of ourselves that what I got was 56. It is my real results. And if you get 65 too, that's my real results. As opposed to, I got 93. But you are the one who knows that you cheated. You're the only one who knows that you cheated your way to that 93. You're walking around with your shoulders high. Meanwhile, you know that you cheated. I'm not saying that people who go 93 cheat. No, I'm just saying that if you get it on your merit based on very, very good hard work, fantastic. We applaud you, right?
There was a video I chanced on social media during this whole results release period, and a young man was saying that his niece got a grade in exam or a score in exam he didn't believe the girl could have gotten that. Okay. So he asked the girl to read the first question or the first sentence on the exam sheet, and she couldn't even read it.
Oh, are you serious?
Yes.
Meanwhile, she had gotten a grade.
Exactly. She had passed. She had passed with distinction, and then she couldn't even read the first question. And I'm like, just look at that. So how was she able to write?
The people are saying we should bring evidence.
How was she able to write
the
exam to pass? Anyway.
Yeah. So we have a story. Let's take a look at that.
Which one are we looking at?
Okay. Oh, any of them. I mean, there's more. So WAEC gives details on how it nabbed WASI candidates who used AI. That's
interesting.
That's a great story.
Yes.
I think we should read it. You want to read it?
Okay.
Yeah.
So
let me start with it.
Okay.
The West African Examinations Council, WAEC, has provided insights into how it detected that some of the candidates who sat for the 2023 West African Senior School Certificate Examinations, WASSCE, relied on artificial intelligence AI platforms. WAEC released provisional results of this year's WASSCE on Monday and announced that some of the candidates engaged in various malpractices. I hope IFEST is listening. The Examination Council said that it had withheld the results of some candidates who cheated and cancelled the results of other students. See, so it withheld some results because it wants to investigate further and has actually cancelled others. It is sure of those ones. Okay, let's continue. Then it says, it noted that candidates who took part in the exams in 235 schools provided AI-generated answers. Hence, their results had been withheld. This disclosure sent shockwaves through the populace, with many asking how the examination body was able to detect such issues. Giving further explanation on the issue, the head of public affairs at WAEC, Mr. John Kapi, in an interview on Eyewitness News on Citi FM, said they realized that some candidates copied the wrong answers the AI platforms gave them.
Interesting.
Yeah. You know, when you use AI platforms, let me give you an example, like ChatGPT, right? Sometimes when you look at the answer, you are like,
this
response is incorrect.
Yeah.
So you can tell it to regenerate
another
the response. Do you see that thing? Yeah. Regenerate the response. Do you get it? Yeah. And so the AI platforms, they are not perfect.
Yes.
Do you see it? So you've gotten a result, then you just lift it and go and put it there.
It is interesting how students who are in school are not able to realize that. Like this.
No, but if you're a cheat, that's what will happen to you.
Because I mean,
if you're a cheat, that's what will happen to you.
How are you not able to realize that this answer to this question is so wrong?
Yeah. No, but because they have not learned, so the wrong answer. They don't
sad.
Know. So let's continue. He said one candidate typed in the question, and the response was that I'm not familiar with the term you have used, and the candidate wrote the same response in the answer booklet.
How? Just how?
No, this matter is very personal to me. I'm very upset about the whole issue of cheating. Another candidate wrote, I cannot detect the item you have used. This is a clear indication of the use of AI. You get it? If you don't get it,
forget about
it. Yeah.
Okay, it's sad. If this is the kind of generation of future leaders,
it will get worse.
We are raising,
if we don't
then
take
it's very
hardcore decisions.
It's very sad because these are people that are going to occupy leadership positions, parliamentary roles, presidential roles, become doctors, nurses, and if somebody is able to generate
I have mates.
Unreasonable answers from AI.
I have mates.
It's sad.
Who were with me in university. 20 years down the road, they are already in government, right? So think about it.
Yeah.
People are about to go to uni.
Right.
20 years time, they'll be in government.
Right.
Do you understand?
Right.
Now, if they cheat their way into uni and cheat their way out of uni into life, they're going to continue because they always get away with it.
Exactly.
And these are the people who will now aspire to become leaders. That's a problem.
A very big one.
You know what? Let's go and do some sports. Last night was a good night. Sports is next. Don't go anywhere. All right, so now on the sporting front, of course, you know that we're preparing for AFCON 2023. Black Stars head coach Chris Hughton named his 27-man squad for the upcoming AFCON tournament in Cote d'Ivoire yesterday in Accra. All right, so the squad has most of the players who have featured consistently in Hughton's time in charge so far. Now, in addition, there are 3 Ghana Premier League players, namely Richmond Lamte, Jonathan Soa, and Abdul Fattah Hamidou. However, the trio of Thomas Partey, Baba Rahman, and Abdul Fattah Isahaku will not make the tournament due to injuries and club commitments. Ghana is in Group B with Cape Verde, Egypt, and Mozambique. All right. Now, Premier League on City. Liverpool beat Newcastle 4-2 at Anfield to go 3 points clear at the top of the Premier League table on Monday. All right. Now, just, repeat that again for sake of emphasis for those who are not Liverpool fans, all the haters. Liverpool beat Newcastle 4-2 at Anfield. You were coming to Anfield to come and do what? To go 3 points clear at the top of the Premier League table on Monday night. Now, Mohamed Salah scored twice for the Reds to make it 151 goals for him in the Premier League for Liverpool, whilst Cody Gakpo and Curtis Jones added the rest. Now, Alexander Isak and Sven Botman got the goals for Newcastle. Now, Liverpool now have 45 points in top spot, while Newcastle are 9th on 29 points. Now, tonight, the Christmas batch of the Premier League games comes to an end with a tie between West Ham United and Brighton. Now, we know who's going to win that game. Of course, it's West Ham United, and Kudus is just polishing up for the AFCON. So just drill in some 3 goals, only 3 pair, and then we can wrap it up for the Christmas games. That will be on 97.3 Citi FM tonight. You don't want to miss it.